This is a presentation of the University of Wisconsin-Parkside.
Our commencement speaker this morning once called UW-Parkside his educational home. Lieutenant General Dr. Charles Bruce Green has since gone on to become one of the top medical personnel in the United States military, serving as the Surgeon General of the United States Air Force. Headquartered in Washington, D.C., General Green oversees the U.S. Air Force Medical Service, and in this capacity, he advises top Air Force and Defense Department officials on the medical aspects and the health of Air Force personnel. He has the authority to mobilize the Air Force Medical Service, to direct the delivery of medical services, and to develop programs to support the Air Force's worldwide medical service missions. He manages more than 42,000 people assigned to 75 medical facilities around the world. General Green graduated from the University of Wisconsin-Parkside in 1974 after earning a Bachelor of Science degree with a major in chemistry. He entered active duty in 1978 after completing his Doctor of Medicine degree at the Medical College of Wisconsin in Milwaukee. He is board certified in aerospace medicine and is an expert in disaster relief operations. General Green is receiving a Doctor of Humane Letters degree today. To be a candidate for a Doctor of Humane Letters, a person must have achieved great eminence in a field of endeavor or have made significant contributions to cultural, educational, scientific, economic, social, or humanitarian fields. Our candidate today excels in all of these areas. General Green, from the University of Wisconsin Board of Regents, it is with distinction that I present to you this honorary doctorate of humane letters. Thank you for your work on behalf of your alma mater, and more importantly, for your work on behalf of our country. Now, it is my pleasure to introduce our commencement speaker, Lieutenant General Dr. Charles Bruce Green.
Well, Chancellor Ford, Regent Vasquez, distinguished faculty and alumni, I'm thrilled to be back in the Kenosha-Racine area and to be here at the University of Wisconsin-Parkside. I tell you, I'm humbled by the honor. It's one of those things that they tried to put me in the right uniform for the event, and I didn't quite get it right. To all the proud parents, family, and graduates, congratulations. A pretty special day. Now, I want you to know that when you come back to the university after 37 years, what you wonder is what happens when you walk in. And I was met by Dr. Williams last night as I walked in, and the first thought through my mind was, my God, I'm in trouble. I didn't finish something. It's just the way it goes. Now, I've been challenged by a Kenosha reporter, okay? The reporter said, and of course my mother's still blushing from the article they put in the paper, but the reporter said, can you keep them awake for 5 minutes? And I'm going to take that challenge. So for all of you truly sleep-challenged graduates, here's my message. You have only begun to learn. Please keep learning from all that you do from this point forward, because the rest of your life you will create your own opportunity as you continue to learn from life's events. And it guarantees your success. So our parents all teach us values. They basically show us how to succeed in life. If you think about what happens I was the oldest of 4 boys, the first to become a graduate from college, the first to become a doctor, the first to serve in the military, and I have no idea how that happened, because I really had a good time. I was one of your crazies, okay? Way too much fun in college. But I entered the Air Force Reserves just after college based on a scholarship and later on active duty. And I didn't realize at the time, but the personal values that my parents had given me in terms of being honest, being humble, and doing the right thing, and always doing your best, prepared me very well for the Air Force. Because their values of integrity, service before self, and excellence in all we do matched up perfectly. I hope you all find and have the same experience as you go forward in life. Now, I believed I'd be a pilot physician. I joined the Air Force to be a pilot physician so I could meet women. Intended to pay back my health promotion scholarship obligation and return to Wisconsin. And nothing works out exactly as you plan. They closed the program allowing physicians to become military pilots. I didn't quite understand how much time I owed them, and I never quite made it back to private practice here in Wisconsin. So I look back to Parkside and say, how did it prepare me? And you know, the textbooks, the lectures, the labs, the study were not where the most important lessons were learned. Calculus and physical chemistry strengthened my mind, but it was the professors who really shaped us. My calculus professor's Grace allowed me to take finals early after a death in the family, and she even brought milk and cookies to the test. My ethics professor, Dr. Johnson, put up with my predilection with Ayn Rand's books on rugged individualists, but encouraged me to look a little further to discover what is best for each individual. A very height-challenged woman, a driven microbiology instructor that many of you may know, Professor Anna Maria Williams, pushed me to take responsibility for creating my future and literally pushed me to go to medical school. And I was not the only one that she ensured became a physician. Dr. Williams, can you stand and let this audience give you a hand? Now, in my last year at Parkside, I did something unusual. S.C. Johnson was holding mock interviews for graduates to test and challenge and train their executives. And so they bought us. For $25, we did 3 interviews. So we went over to S.C. Johnson, and after the 3rd interview, everyone else was released, and they kept me. And I thought, and they wanted one more interview, and I thought I was being cheated because I didn't get the same $25 deal. And the vice president who actually talked with me this time offered me a job as a product research chemist. Took me for a ride in his Porsche, which was a little over the top at the time. And I have to say I was a little tempted, but what he said to me resonated. He said, I know you've got this medical school thing in your mind, but, he says, if it doesn't work out, come see us. And what that told me was that I should really choose the path that opened the most doors. Frequently the path with the most risk, but also the greatest opportunity. And so medicine and the Air Force met these challenges, and off I went. Now, Socrates advised scholars to get married. He said, if you choose well, you'll be happy the rest of your days. And if not, you'll become a philosopher. Verdict still out. Sharing life will teach you many things about yourself as well as your partner. Your kids will introduce you to Harvard professors at 6 years of age because their friend who invited them to play has you to their house. And as you walk in and realize they wrote the chapter of the books you're reading right now, it's fairly impressive. Someday, your child will take you to the MTV Awards, being nominated for an award, and you too can cover their eyes when the next Eminem band moons the audience on live TV. When your child's sorority little, and I still don't really understand what that means, nor do I know the handshake, but when they invite you to her parents' house for a dinner, accept it. because it may just be the best meal you've ever had in your life. And her father was the owner of a series of restaurants in Houston and San Antonio and the top chef. Now, I've told you to choose things that essentially open doors and creates the best opportunities. And you'll make lots of decisions. But when you choose the path that opens the most doors, the mistakes that you make will leave more room for recovery. Think about it. I had the opportunity to practice here in Kenosha with the very best of friends. My life would have been much different and rewarding in ways I'll never know, but would not have saved my marriage at the time, the path to stay in military practice, despite all of the worldwide moves, 14 in fact, over all these years, allowed me to recover and grow. Now I had to dig my way out of earthquakes, dodge typhoons, and survive the biggest volcanic eruption of the century to succeed, but it opened lots of doors. The rewards you seek may not always offer the value expected. Sometimes things work. My bride did like the uniforms. The flight suit was a good thing. And as a physician, there was really never a time in the military I couldn't have increased my salary by moving to private practice. But somehow, pulling people out from under buildings, teaching medics to rapidly build a hospital, and saving lives in the remotest areas of the world, and finally, over the last 10 years, finding ways to safely bring home 86,000 casualties from Iraq and Afghanistan safely have been worth it. I have friends on every continent. I've traveled extensively and worked with extraordinarily gifted people serving our nation. Success is not always immediate. The things you learn may not be immediately applicable. Remember that the knowledge you gain through continuous learning does not truly become wisdom until you share it with someone else. Success is found in the grace that was shared by a professor with cookies and milk in time of stress, or in a grocery store hug received on the other side of a country from a mother whose child you delivered 16 years ago, that you haven't seen her since, who expects you to recognize the now towering giant that you're looking at. Or the thanks of a wounded warrior when he or she is home through your evacuation system that you took great effort to put together. Continuous learning will create new and exciting futures. Now, I wish for you, each of you, that you have the same wonderful relationships, opportunities, and challenges that I have experienced. May you someday be honored to speak at a forum just like this. May you share many tender moments with those you love. And someday, when you're thanking the many people that influenced your life, one of them may come up to you in the audience, tell you to write a book, and inspire you, just as Stephen Covey recently inspired and challenged me. Now, it's a wonderful life. Dream. Make those dreams come true. Cherish your life. Learn from it and help others to do the same. Thank you.